Let's play Wildlife card game. When you open the deck, you get 100 cards of animals and plants that are uniquely illustrated. We've got birds, plants, mammals, water plants, water mammals, waste, insects, reptiles, mushrooms, and many more. They all have their diet. The diet corresponds to reality, and it is the basis of the game. With the diets, we will be forming ecosystem food chains. Now let's begin by shuffling up the cards really nicely, and let's lay the deck to the side. Each player gets 3 cards to begin. During your turn, you have to grab an additional card from the deck.
And you have to place at least one card on the table, but you can place more than one or all of them.
Let's take a look at our cards. We've got an insect, a plant, an arachnid, and another insect. I can already see a food chain forming. For instance, this is a fruit, and moths eat fruits according to their diet. And additionally, I can even put a spider which eats the moth. This card eats this one, and this one eats this one. So during my turn, I can already lay down a full food chain on the table. If the food chain is at least 3 cards long, I get to keep them as points. I am now left with only 1 card. I can choose to keep this card and end my turn, or I can choose to put it on the table.
All players can make use of the cards that are on the table to form their food chains.
If I am empty-handed, I get to take another 3 cards from the deck. This is an interesting, refreshing mechanic by which I will now have 3 more cards in my next turn instead of 1. Now let's take a look at the next player. The next player can make use of this card on the table and also use the cards on their hand. This time, we have another ecosystem. Mushrooms eaten by the ants, and the ants are eaten by a bird. They keep these as points. Now let's take a look at a third player. So they will draw 1 card. This mammal could eat this mushroom, but we are missing a third card to complete the ecosystem. So we're just left with having to put 1 down and pass your turn. So we already have a mushroom here, and mushrooms can be paired with any other mushroom. So we already have 2. And luckily, we have this spiny rat, which can seed mushrooms. We put it there. And we have 3 again. These are the 3 new cards dealt to the second player. So we'll get a new one. 3 plants. Plants can be paired with any other plant, so this becomes points. This is a very good card because it's a top predator. Putting it on the table would mean that other players are likely going to be able to use it in their ecosystem, so it would be wise to keep it. The next player has these 3 and a new one. We're going to be using the algae that was already on the table, and we're going to have it be eaten by the crab. And as a third card, we're going to be using the eel, which eats crustaceans. And so we have completed an ecosystem, which is an aquatic one, and we keep it. It is possible to make a food chain that is larger than 3 cards. For example, the butterfly is eaten by the mantis. The mantis is eaten by the lizard. The lizard is eaten by the monkey. And finally, the monkey is eaten by the anaconda. This is an example of a 5-card food chain. If you're able to pull this off during the game, you get to keep all of them as points.